Have a seat. Akansha, introduce yourself.
So my name is Akansha Gupta. I was born and brought up in Delhi only. I did my schooling from Guru Education Public School, Delhi, and then I did my graduation from University of Delhi. Afterwards, I did MA, and currently I am pursuing law from University of Delhi. And apart from that, if I talk about my sense of life, then it revolves around being content and being grateful for whatever I get and whatever I do. And that is something which I work for every day.
Okay, how you pursue that?
So every day, my goal is that I should, whatever I do, should be, I should give my 100% to that. Whatever work I do, be it any at home or academically or career-wise or professionally, I make sure that I do it 100% and always be grateful that whatever I have got in my life is something which, for which I should be grateful.
This pursuit of perfection which you strive for,
Yes, sir.
is it practical?
So, 100%, if I talk about being 100%, then it is not practical, but at least we can strive for it. Then at least we can reach up till 90%.
But does it increase stress in life, the pursuit for perfection?
So if you do it by your own choice, and if you really love it and you enjoy it doing it, then I don't think it becomes stress.
Okay. What kind of occupation do you prefer? An occupation which you love or an occupation which you enjoy? And how they are different?
So I think that an occupation which you love will be enjoyed by you.
Okay. What is the difference between joy and happiness?
So
And what you chase?
So I chase happiness because happiness is something which I think stays for long, and joy can be momentary, and it is for that particular moment.
Okay. What is the genesis of your name, Akansha?
So it means desire, and so that is why it basically means the aspiration in life.
Okay. You belong to Delhi.
Yes, sir.
Tell me 4 contemporary problems which Delhi is facing and it needs quick resolution.
So first is pollution. Second is crime against women. We just witnessed it recently also. And third, I think, is congestion. People think that Delhi is very congested. And fourth, I think so, the attitudinal, and because of the fast-paced life of Delhi, the attitudinal problem has come. Recently, a study was there which said that murder and crimes such like that has surged to another level because of the petty reasons. So I think that is something which is there, which socially not, it is creating socially disharmony in Delhi.
Okay. You talked about congestion problem.
Yes, sir.
If given a chance, how do you plan to solve it?
So first of all, traffic management is something which we should strive for, and for that we can use technology also, and more usage of public vehicles. And
Does widening of roads
yes, sir.
is a solution for traffic management?
Yes, sir, it is one of the solution, but it is also constrained by the available land and available area we have for that, because it will also take a lot of houses and buildings which are there in place.
Okay. Apart from this congestion problem, you talked about pollution.
Yes, sir.
Who is responsible for Delhi's pollution?
So I think any problem is because of the activities which are going on there, and people definitely are a part of it. So first of all, because of the hectic life and because of the vehicle which are being used at a great number, like one family has 3 or 4 vehicles, and there's less preference for public vehicles. And second, sir, if we talk about administration, then I think that infrastructure which is going on is not at that pace which should be there, because of which the constructional pollution is there, which I witness it every day. And Obviously stubble burning is there, which is the major issue, and also the geography of Delhi is such that it leads to pollution because of the in winter
Can
especially.
we charge farmers for stubble burning, and can we consider it as a criminal offense? Should we consider it?
I think no, sir, because the kind of constraints which they have, there's a act because of which they are not allowed to sow their crops before a certain time, and then afterwards they don't have time for sowing wheat, so they will obviously choose the preferable option because that is their source of earning, and they will think about pollution next words, and they
If a person doesn't have a choice,
yes, sir.
can he commit a grave offense such as murder?
No, sir.
And on that basis, can we should we apply some kind of leniency on him? Because stubble burning is causing many deaths. It is causing air pollution, and air pollution is causing the deaths. And we know that stubble burning is responsible. Some farmers are responsible. So don't you think it is high time we start penalizing them and even make it a criminal offense? Because it is kind of an indirect way to murder somebody.
Yes, sir. See, when we talk about pollution, then stubble burning definitely is a major cause, but it is not the only cause. And when a person, obviously, we cannot justify the act of murder if it is out of compulsion. But here, uh, in this case, we cannot just directly relate stubble burning with murdering those people who are being who are losing their life because of pollution. Yes, we should work with them. We should enforce that these activities are done at a lesser pace. Administration should be on toes for that, but I think that charging them for a criminal offense which is their source of living, and that to farmers who are already marginalized, I think that is not the right option.
Okay. Tell me about your work experience, Akanksha. Have you worked somewhere?
No, sir. I haven't worked as such, but yes, I have worked. I've done internships in many startups.
Okay. What was your last internship?
I last I worked at startup which used to mentor students for group discussions, which is a very major part in recruitment nowadays. So I used to be a part of that to mentor students.
What is the definition of startup in India?
So if, if there's a financial there's a limit of um, startup is anything which is not 10 which is not more than 10 years of 10 years of its establishment, and the there's a limit of financial there's a limit of number which I'm forgetting, sir, which makes a business as startup.
What number?
So that exact number I'm forgetting. I think it's 100 crores.
It is below 100 crores or above 100?
Below 100.
So above 100 crore, we won't call it startup. And is this 100 crore a turnover based, or it is a capital investment?
So I'm forgetting that.
Okay. Are you aware about the fact that in India, to consider a particular entity as startup, some technological know-how should be present with that entity, or the whole premise or the whole business model should be technology based? Is this a requirement currently in India to call a particular business as startup?
So
Can we call a business model which is non-technology based a startup?
So as far as I know, then any idea which we transform it as a business will be called startup. I'm not aware of the fact that technology has to be the basic requirement for that.
Okay. So Akanksha, you were not formally employed anywhere. You have done only internship. So why you chose not to be employed and to pursue civil services?
So because I was pursuing my education till
Okay.
even currently I'm pursuing law.
Okay.
So that is why.
So if not civil services, then what is your future plan?
So my primary goal will be civil service only. But yes, because
What is your plan B?
So I think that will be law, because I really love working with people, and law is something which will give me that opportunity.
Okay. Public administration was your optional. Tell me, what are the current issues we are facing in public administration? Any three?
So public administration as a discipline, or
Government administration I'm talking about, the practical difficulties we are facing, not theoretical.
so I think first of all is that the acceptance by people that credibility of administration is something which we are facing because of the social issues like fake news and communal disharmony which we are witnessing. So there is this public credibility which is the first challenge. And second, because of the fact that we are entering we are entering in the information revolution 4.0, then I think that administration has to be in compliance with that, and it has to be more technological oriented. So I think second is that. And third, administration has to be working towards the contemporary problems in law and order, because like cyber threats, and we recently witnessed a lot of cyber attack on our network, in electricity network and everything. So that is the challenge which needs to be taken care of very soon.
Akanksha, what is your take on criminalization of marital rape?
So
do you agree with the government stand?
So my take is that any progressive step which we take should be in consonance with the public opinion. So if we see the current scenario, then I don't think that we can blatantly criminalize marital rape, because there are a lot of other issues involved in this case. But yes, we can approach towards it, we can have discussions about it, and once we are because there are a lot of legislative lacunas still lying. So first of all, those lacunas has to be addressed, and then we can think about
any specific lacuna you are talking about.
So, for example, inter-religious differences are there. In Muslim, it is allowed that a girl can be married after 15 years of age, but in Hindus, it is 18 years of age. So a lot of ambiguity.
But that is different. That is part of personal laws. That is altogether a different thing. What I'm asking you is that should we criminalize marital rape universally in all religions, irrespective of whatever religion the husband-wife may be of.
So we should approach towards
At one point you mentioned that we should take into account the public opinion.
Yes.
But don't you think that in case of Sati Pratha, when it was abolished in around 1829, public was against its abolition, but still the government of that day took that bold step. So don't you think right now also, even if the public is against it, but it would be a bold step to criminalize marital rape?
So I think it is because of the sensitivity of people. If we talk about, then that time maybe people were not aware of their own rights. People were not that aware, that sensitive towards their own rights. But today we are aware that people do raise their voice. People do give their opinion in topics. So I don't think that era can be compared with today. And today public opinion.
I am comparing the crime. The nature of the crime of Sati Pratha and marital rape. Do you think that both are different?
Yes, sir. To some extent, they are different, but
okay, not an issue. In position of leadership, you have mentioned that you were a core committee member of Kronos. Can you tell me something about what is it?
Kronos?
Yes.
Kronos Kronos was a tech society of our college, and Kronos as a word is taken from Greek mythology, and Kronos was the son of Uranus and Gaia, Uranus the father sky and Gaia the mother earth. So because of the story which is attached with Kronos, that he castrated his father and took the throne. So there is a story also attached to the formation of the society in our college, because if you would.
So what was this society about?
So this was society. This was a technical society of our college, which used to arrange a lot of events, technical events, and seminars, workshops for our college. So we used.
And as a core committee member, what was your role?
My role was to organize all this.
Being a member of that committee, what leadership lessons you learned? And those lessons, can you apply in actual administration?
So first was the cooperation which I learned, because there were a lot of things which were happening in events, and we have to cooperate it, integrate it in a comprehensive manner for the event to be a success. And second was to plan things in such a manner that it is also acceptable to the students, and they do approach to our events. And third was to take our team members to productively work towards the goal. So that was clearly a very much challenge, because they were not ready. Usually we used to face challenges because they already have their own commitments. So we have to make them work towards our events. So these were the things, and obviously these three things, these three qualities of leadership can be applied in administration also, because.
Do you believe that Indian society is less acceptive of women leaders?
Yes, it used to be, but nowadays we are seeing a lot of women leaders coming up and taking charge of the major roles.
Let's say you are leading a team of 100 men.
Yes.
And just because you are a woman, they are disobeying you. How would you handle such scenario?
So I think my first step will be persuasion. I'll make sure that I am myself that persuasive or that skilled enough that they should not firstly question my skills and my capabilities to take that job. So first of all, it will be my job to work on myself. And second, sir, if there's still and I can see that they are disobeying me, then I will have to take strict actions, whichever I'll be in authority of.
Good. You also teach underprivileged students, Akansha. So why have you not joined an NGO? Because being a member or part of that NGO, you could make a huge difference in lives of those students. So you should have gone to that path and not joined civil services. That is what I feel. Don't you think that?
So joining an NGO and joining civil services, no doubt that in both the things we are working for the public services. But one thing I realized is that when you are working for NGO, you have that feeling that you're working for them. You're doing some kind of favor to them, because you take your time out. And
let's say you open your own NGO, then you are working for yourself. You could have done that.
Yes, sir. But again, my second point was that when you have the authority to do that, and when you do it on your own, there's a difference between them. When we join civil services, we will be having authority to work for people first, and second, it will be our job, and it will not be something that we are doing anything for them or we are doing any favor to them. It will be our own job, and so it is that there's a difference between joining an NGO and.
So you pursue authority.
So because when you have authority to do that, you can do it with all the conviction. You have it, and in NGO we have to pursue the government, pursue the administration to hear to us. So we are after joining civil service, I can skip this part, because I'll be having the authority to do it myself.
Okay. Thank you.
So have you heard about this Chat GPT?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
So ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence application which was innovated by OpenAI, a company. In this, we can input any of our queries, and as output we will get that, be it algorithm, be it essay, or whatever we want. We can just input it and we will get it as output.
And so, how does it? This is different from that Google, which we already use.
So Google is a search engine, and the major thing I will say that Google has become an adjective. We don't say that we'll search it, we say that we Google it. And second thing is, so even if when we ask ChatGPT that are you a search engine, then it will itself says that no, it is not a search engine, because it is an artificial intelligence concept which gives output by the human data which is being fed in that. So it is difference from.
So then why Google is worried about ChatGPT if it's not a search engine?
So Google is worried because it has the potential to replace Google, but as of now, no doubt, Google cannot be replaced, but in future it can.
What do you think about like this potential? I want to talk about this potential and AI basically. What do you think about this potential?
So major issue is when we talk about artificial intelligence, then I think it is the biasness and stereotypes which is attached to the algorithm of artificial intelligence. So once our algorithms are such sophisticated that there is no biasness attached, then I think that it has to be authentic. So once we are done with that, then it can be equivalent to a search engine like Google.
So authentic ChatGPT is authentic in itself, or is there any issue regarding some authenticity and this even ethics also?
Yes, sir, there are issues. There are issues because it is giving an output after, because on the basis of the data which is being fed into them, and that data was fed by humans only. So that algorithm is the output of the stereotypes of the mindset of that particular people. And so
how developing more or how working on AI more can help removing this type of stereotype, which because there will be more apps or applications like ChatGPT in future. So how we can remove that input basically?
so once the spectrum of data will be broadened, it will be more authentic. So that data which should include all those, like if we talk about OpenAI, then that is a Western company. So it maybe it will have the opinions based on Western concepts, Western culture. And if we integrate all those cultures which are prevailing in the world, in the planet, then I think there we can just evade off the stereotypes to some extent.
Oh, chalo good. So now tell me some 5 applications of AI in public administration.
So first, it can be useful in customer redressal mechanism. We can make a chatbot where there can be automatic resolution of problems. Second, in traffic control, there's a lot of potential in that by surveillance and by managing the traffic. And third, sir, in education. In education, we can come up with courses which like in remote areas we see that there is lack of accessibility to good education. There it can be useful. And what's a language? We are a diverse country, so we can use artificial intelligence in our administration, so which can translate each and every language to other language. So that can be the thing. And fifth, in health administration, artificial intelligence can be a great potential, which was visible in COVID pandemic, where proximity with people was the major concern, that we have to follow the isolation. So there artificial intelligence.
How you'll like apply it in agricultural field?
So
AI.
in agriculture, sir, in seed quality control, in land inspection, or the quality control of the ultimate output which we get, because usually even if we lot of output from grains, lot of grain outputs are wasted because of the quality they pursue. So I think there we can use artificial.
Can you like, if you get into IAS and become a part of a team of agriculture ministry, and there is some ongoing program regarding this new second green revolution or second agriculture revolution and the impact of AI. So what will be your suggestions to that team?
So second green revolution, when we talk about second green revolution, it in itself is related to the fact that we have to go more organic. In first green revolution, we make the use of technology, we make the use of advanced technology, but here in second green revolution we will be opting for organic things. So when everything is organic, then the process will be organic, but the output can be managed from using AI. The land can be managed using AI, that we can inspect the quality of land and the quality of grains or whatever crops can be grown in that particular land. And in marketing, that can be used. Artificial intelligence will ensure the targeted marketing as well as the sale of those organic products.
Oh, very good. So you've been a public speaker also,
So,
and like till your school days or even till late, you have been professing this thing.
so lastly, I just, as I mentioned, that I used to mentor students for group discussions.
Group discussion. Okay, so what are your views on, like, making public speaking as a proper mainline subject? Now it is the time for us. We should make it a subject, like in school, like a biology, like a stream subject. What do you think about? Tell me both sides, like evaluate this thing, public speaking as a mainline subject in India.
Yes, sir, I definitely agree that public speaking can be a mainline subject in India, because we study a lot, we know that knowledge, but the quality of delivering that knowledge to the other person will be when we can efficiently communicate. So if public speaking is one of the subject, then students will be able to learn that, and that will be beneficial for all of those professions which they follow in future life.
Okay. So now if you mentioned profession, so if we are able to make it as a mainline subject, we should think of a mainline profession also for public speaking. So how you will cater those students in a profession related to public speaking?
So first, that there are some subjects which maybe are not just because of pursuing mainline profession, like we used to have moral education in our schools, but that is not that was the goal of that subject was to transform our personality. So first is that it is not necessary that if a student is learning public speaking as a subject, then he or she should think first of all that can I transform it as my ultimate career. But second, yes, even if you want it, even if you want to transform it, there are a lot of areas like anchoring or giving like anchoring or giving participation in debates, and a lot of organizing events. In all of those areas, you need to have the good public speaking, so we can make it a professional career.
Don't you think, like they are there from last so many years? Don't you think the newfound professions like vlogging, like the age of influencers, their public speaking can help the
Yes.
economy?
Yes, definitely.
You think?
Yes.
Chalo, good. And what about this TT? You have been a TT player.
Yes, sir.
So like you played professionally or
At school level,
school
so
level?
you
Yeah.
used to participate in inter-school tournaments and district level tournaments.
How TT is a sport like? TT is more of kind of indoor practice
Yes.
rather than being a sport like tennis or badminton. Like how you think TT is a sport?
So I think TT is just like is a sport just like any other sport. because there also you need to apply your mind, there also you need to apply your physical strength, and you have to analyze the opponents each and every move. So I think it is a sport just like any other sport.
And how's the condition of TT in India?
So it is improving. We saw a great performance in Olympics recently of table tennis.
But I guess no medal.
Yes, sir, but we didn't have medal, no medal, but we have that prospect of getting medal. Like Manika Batra, who's from Delhi, she reached till the third round in Olympics. So that is an achievement.
Okay. Good. Like anything you like about TT?
So one thing which I like about TT is that you have to apply your mind a lot. You have to speculate the move of the opponent in every chance you take. So that is something which I like most about it.
See. Chalo, good.
Public administration we hear regularly. Is there something called as a private administration?
Yes, sir.
For example,
Administration is anything in which you execute execute your policies or programs or anything, and you try to achieve the goal of the organization. So when it is done in public sphere, then it is public administration, and when we pursue it in private sphere, then it will be private administration.
so then call it a management, but private management support. But what's the difference between administration and management?
So management, when a manager has to manage all those activities in his or her particular field and in his or her particular team, and administration is encompasses all those activities. Mostly administrator encompasses all of those activities under its field, and manager usually manages its own field. Like we can have manager of a technical department, we can have manager of commerce department, but when we talk about administrator, we usually talk about a generalist who is able to manage all of those fields.
Okay, once Narayana Murthy said that we should get rid of all this IAS and we should fill them with the IM graduates. They'll be more efficient and India will lead faster. What is your opinion on it?
So I think that no doubt IM graduates will do great in administration, but I think the decision of scrapping all of those IAS will not be a good option, because in civil services we get people from diverse backgrounds, which is very important in diverse country like India.
IM graduates will be also diverse only.
Yes, sir, but IM graduates, we are pursuing IM graduates because of the management field they pursue.
Okay.
But we can also have doctors in administration. We can have just a BA pass student in administration. So that is the diversity which we need in our administration.
Okay, with women in the public administration, is there any difference happens? Like, do you know theoretically is there a difference between men leading the administration and women leading it?
Yes, so in approach there is difference, because inherently men and women are different in their approaches. So when women pursue administration, then maybe the sensitivity towards women will be different, the approach towards women will be different. They can understand their women problem from that angle, which maybe men cannot, because of the inherent.
No, suppose it's a men's problem only and not women's problem, then will it make any difference?
Yes, sir. Then also there will be a different, because the approach we have in life, the approach we will opt when we will be looking at men's problem, it will be different than a man looking at the men's problem.
What is that?
Sir, for example, employment, there's a lot of lack of employment in our region of men. Then maybe the kind of sectors which women will opt to give them employment will be different than a men administrating the same.
Okay. The law, this is a lot of controversy regarding the collegium system.
Yes, sir.
So why courts in India are not ready to take the National Judicial Commission?
So because National Judicial Commission, when it was formulated in 2015, it has its own lacunas. major thing is that it is a blot on the doctrine of separation of powers. Judiciary think then when there'll be involvement of government in appointment of judges, then it will be an attack on their independence. First is that, and second, the kind of composition of National Judicial Commission was such that it was not acceptable to judiciary, and third, there was a veto system in that composition which was not acceptable to judiciary. So
what do you think the solution to this issue? The controversy is now going on presently, and what you see the solution to it?
The solution is that National Judicial Commission as a concept is not bad, but it will be along with negotiation and dialogues with judiciary, and the composition of that should be more comprehensive and should be such that it is acceptable to judiciary also.
Does government is making such proposal? They are reworking on it?
So there's a talk about it, but right now we have not come up with a new proposal for that.
Okay. Finally, you live at Babarpur. Shall the name be changed?
Sorry, sir?
Babarpur.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Shall we change the name?
No, sir.
Why?
Because it has been working perfectly fine.
But so many change names. Hoshangabad recently turned to Narmadapuram.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Or Mughal Sarai into Dindar Upadhyay Nagar.
Yes, sir. So name can be changed when people demand so, but I think in our area people are fine with the name of Babarpur. There's no conflict on that name, so I think.
How we see the legacy of Babar like today? How shall we see his legacy in India?
Legacy of Babar. So Babar was the one who established Mughal Empire in our country. He was the one who used artillery gun for the first time. So legacy of Babur will be in such a manner that he was the one who started Mughal Empire, and a lot of architecture which we witness in our country belongs to the Mughal Empire. So all of those architecture reflects the legacy of Babur also.
Okay.
Akansha, before we relieve you, I just want to know why Indian Foreign Service is at 5th preference in your choice.
Sir, because I want to work in India only, and I want to, I mentioned it before that I love working with people and people of our country. So that is why.
So then Foreign Service should have been the last preference. Why 5th?
So because I want to pursue something in all of those other posts also. I'll not be working with people. Or majorly IAS, IPS, and to some extent IRS will be the one where I'll be dealing with people. So I think if this is the factor that I want to work with people, then all of the other posts are same in that. So obviously, if Indian Foreign, I have to opt among those posts, then I'll be preferring Indian Foreign Service because I'll be getting a chance to represent my country at other level.
Okay, as a Foreign Service officer, what role can you play in furthering India's growth and development? And especially as a woman Foreign Service officer, what difference will you make?
So, usually when we talk about India's development in foreign sector, then I think two things are approached. First is the security of a country, and the second is our own national interest. So if I get a chance to be in Indian Foreign Services, then I'll make sure then that our relations with other countries are smooth, and at the same time, whenever any issue or conflict appears, then I make sure that national interest should be my primary goal, along with following the global world order.
Okay, Akansha, that is all. We'll call you back for your feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.